Boo! They didn't see me there. Hello and welcome. I'm Liam, Music Reviewer. I can't fucking format this video. And today I'm gonna be doing this March Madness bracket on the YouTube music reviewing scene. Did it last year. It was a lot of fun. Thought I would do it this year. Thanks to Josh for putting me on the bracket this year, Josh Blogger, Instrumental Eismer. Also thanks for giving me the right name this time. Well done. Nah, just playing. Except I'm not. Except I am. Let's get started. So Spectrum Pulse and Luke James. I went for Luke James for this one. Spectrum Pulse can have some good analysis, but I sometimes just find his delivery of stuff a bit pompous at points. Luke James has put me onto a lot of hip hop music that I just wouldn't have known about otherwise. My arm's already getting sore. I'm gonna change the format just a quick second. There we go. That's much better. But yeah, look, his work. I just think he's got a really nice sense of humour and personality. Just very easy to watch and listen to. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to Luke for this round. And then Grandad Woolley, Matt O'Leary. These are two people that I didn't really know much about beforehand. Watched a video or two before, like trying to come up with a choice. Ended up going with Matt. His presentation quite high quality. And just his general knowledge. He seems to be kind of interested in more sort of obscure artists and that, which I appreciate. It's good to have these kind of people that want to like go out their way. People like Kim and Rick Delay. It made it kind of easy. An easy choice for me here, though I will definitely start to give Grandad Woolley a bit more attention. After that, Brad Taste and Music and Final Rewind. Final Rewind, his whole look, like his attention to his aesthetic is just, it makes me happy. He's just been like an OG for, yeah, he's been around for a while. I remember like whenever I was trying to do like this whole revision for Smashing Pumpkins, what do you call it? Like a throwback review, a retrospective. I found some of his stuff there like a few years beforehand. I was like looking at vinyl stuff, and just recently with his Daft Punk video that I just found super interesting. Yeah, he deserves a lot more love than he gets. Then Todd in the Shadows, Mike the Snare. I'm gonna go for Todd here again just because of the kind of status and that. Though I do think Mike the Snare just one of the best new people on the platform. I think he's only going to get better as time goes on. He just hits that same kind of dopamine center as like Scott the Woz does. Just his editing is just so quick. He's just so funny, and he just knows his stuff. His music theory knowledge is just utterly impressive. But Todd has his series like One Hit Wonderland and Train Records and stuff, where I just find myself just like really compelled to watch it as soon as I hear a new episode. So Todd wins just by a small margin. Like this was the first difficult decision I think I had to make here. Then it's a Social Tune and David Rowe. It's my son David every time, like no contest. I'm sorry to the Social Tune. I don't really watch much of your content. I have watched some. I know you do. Some throwback kind of like videos and ramble things and that, and I think them quite interesting. I do think they're quite natural. So props to you on that. But David, just his analysis is just impressive, to say the least. And it's a Wonky Angle against Noise Pond. I'm gonna give this to my boy Brett. He just has this composure, which I just find so just it like reels me in. I do like the Wonky Angle stuff. And his whole niche in electronic music. Like I need to commend him for it. Like if he was to start like the one I remember was Ski Mask Compro as well. Like I already liked that album before I saw his review, and just listening to what he had to say just made me kind of grow even fonder of it. It's a guy that knows his stuff, but I had to give it to Brett just because, like I say, his composure, his whole demeanour, I just find just super inviting. And it's me up against Mike Seatown, and I'm going to give it to Mike just because I'm not going to be a narcissist. But also just, I do really like Mike. I don't really listen to like the podcast that he's on, the Dead End Hip Hop one, or watch much of that channel's stuff. But just he seems to be a guy that like music has played like a big part in his life, and I can just tell and just hearing the stories and that is just makes him just so interesting. So I'm more than happy to like lose to Mike. Then deep cuts against FIFO from Dead End Hip Hop. Deep cuts easily, just no contest there. I don't really. That may be blasphemous. Maybe like FIFO is like a legend to people that watch their stuff, but just for me, just it's Ollie. Just easy choice there. And we'll just finish this left hand side. So against Matt O'Leary and Luke James, gonna get to Luke James, like I say, just somebody that knows his hip hop. And just again, great personality, great sense of humour. Just is just a really great guy. Then against Final Rewind and Todd in the Shadows, gonna give it to Todd again. Has been a great companion during these night shifts where I'll just like cue a bunch of his videos that I'll have watched years ago, and just like even without having to like watch the video, like he tells a lot just from his delivery and that, which is quite impressive, and knows his stuff as well. That's always like a biggie with trying to make these decisions here. And it's Brett against David. Gonna give it to David here. Like I say, I do like Brett's stuff a fair amount, especially that Album of the Year video he did recently. Just covered so much stuff. It was really, I was taken aback by just how much stuff he's aware of, and he's just somebody that's very involved in the music industry, so he knows his stuff in a whole different way. So I kind of respect him in that sense too. But David, just his content, just such like a funny guy, just so kind of laid back as well. Doesn't take himself too seriously, but kind of definitely is dedicated to sort of like music and just analysing it to the degree that he does. And then Mike Seaton against Deep Cuts. Ollie, the reigning champion, wins it here for me as well, just because his guides have helped me a lot with getting more involved in music, because there's a lot of people that are doing music reviewing just now who are younger and kind of have taken advantage of the fact that they've had like all this stuff to help them out in that, and I think stuff like Ollie's channel definitely helps me kind of keep up, as it were. And then we've got these final two showdowns here. So Luke James against Todd in the Shadows, giving it to Todd. That was kind of like an easy enough choice for me there, just because Todd has just been somebody that I've watched for years, and while his content hasn't changed drastically, the new series that he's brought in have been pretty interesting. I do like every time a new notification pops up, that's me, I'm there right away. Then David Rowe, Deep Cuts. My voice is going there. David Rowe and Deep Cuts. I went for Deep Cuts, which was a difficult one as well. I feel like I made this decision last year. My memory isn't the best, but I remember making some sort of decision, and it just has to be because Ollie's like, even though he's on a hiatus just now, which was also something I was taking into consideration there, just the content he put out since last March was some of his best, especially the stuff like the Death Grips Guide, the Big Beats, kind of like the 5 albums to get into thing, like just the ones that like when I'm thinking back to 2018 like music kind of material were ones that I thought about quite a fair amount. So that was a difficult one there, so sorry David, but you're just, again, you the same kind of case where like when you upload a new video, I click on it right away. The only one that I haven't done that with is the music reviewer bracket, because I'm recording mine just now, so that would be kind of a compromise there. Hopefully I go far in yours. No, I know that I'm going out in the first round just like last year. It's just going to be like a running meme if this ever continues into next year. And then against Todd and Deep Cuts, first finalist out of the two that we'll get here. Again, really like Todd's stuff, and I just had to kind of like really nitpick here and kind of go, well, Todd's humour can be a bit dated. Not like you say anything like racist or that, just like you just kind of like his memes are a bit old. He's still very much like, you remember he used to be part of Channel Awesome, but I still find his new stuff pretty entertaining, even though his Lord take is pretty bad. I'm trying not to swear about it there, but yeah, it's pretty fucking bad. Let's go to the right hand side here. So between Needle Drop and Big Quint. Needle Drop, Big Quint, probably a lovely guy, but his content's just so repetitive, and Needle Drop is just the OG, like the godfather of music reviewing. It seems so easy choice there, even if I think he's more interesting than he's ever been, because he just keeps pulling out like Ariana Grande, Yellow Flannel, stuff like that, where like 21 Pilots, like it's just kind of stuff you wouldn't expect, so he does keep you on your toes. But I do think that he got to a point where he was like really pushing himself too much, and was getting a bit too drained, and that might kind of like get factored into when we come to some of these deadlocks. But this is one that everyone's going to be kind of like trying to like think over quite a fair bit, and that's Rick the Lion, Not Your Music, Ryan. Gonna go for Rick. Sorry Ryan, you do like you cover so much stuff. Like it's, I don't know how you have the stamina to handle that. Also don't know how you have the strength to hold your phone, because I was having to fucking change the format like a minute in. But went for Rick here just because I like his presentation quite a fair bit. Like just the wee graphics and jokes and that, just like it was what I was trying to do with my quickie reviews at the start of last year. And now it's like in hindsight, I'm like, thank God I ended that, because I would have just looked like a copycat. And Rick just has an aesthetic that just he sticks to. That fucking Julia Holter review he put out, holy fuck. I don't really like that album that much, but that was something. But yeah, sorry about that Ryan, but like, if you're gonna lose, you're losing to one of the greats here. But Ryan puts out some good stuff. Just like I say, the stamina he has with this stuff is just, I don't know how he manages it, but great guy. So check out his stuff if you haven't already, and check out all these people, most of them anyway. Maybe you'll be able to figure out which ones I don't want you to check out by my tone. But now we've got Amy from the Sound Binge and Beezy from Dead End Hip Hop. Again, don't really care about Dead End Hip Hop, but Amy's stuff is great. So she isn't just getting by here on default. It's weird though, like if any of you guys did this bracket last year, you probably remember like Amy kinda, I think she just started, kinda same as me. Like I'd been around for a while, but like I'd been very inactive and then just came back last year. But she was like just over 100 subscribers, I think. And now she's like I think she's got she's like the biggest out of our wee community, which is fucking baffling. In the sense of like how quickly she's grown, but like, she totally deserved it. Just as somebody who manages to like, if I hated an album and I heard her talk about it and like she loved it, like she would give me that insight. Like she's very good at wording herself, and her art is just incredible. The art she did for the Vale Smith EP is just one of my favourite things that I saw this year. So she's going through to the next round, and then it's Velocities in Music and Rap Critic, and I'm gonna go for Velocities. Just because Rap Critic kind of grates me a little bit. He just looks into stuff far too much. Like he's always kind of been like that, but like with this whole wave, like people that just analyse stuff far too much to the point where like they kind of miss the point. He's like one of those folk. Velocities in Music, I haven't watched a lot of their stuff, but I've listened to some of their kind of like, I guess what they do is just a podcast series is basically what they do. But they're definitely very like invested and interested, and they're easy to listen to, so they've got their qualities too, so I'm not just like letting them get by because I don't really like Rap Critic. Mercurial number 6 and Buffalo Staple. Buffalo just wins that round easy, I'm sorry Mercurial. Only got into your stuff fairly recently. You do a lot of stuff, so like you're definitely busy, and you seem to know your stuff as well. You seem to be very sort of like enthusiastic about what you do, but Buffalo knows his stuff. His production value is just great for just the fact it's just like him in his bedroom and whatnot. And just manages to like, it's one of those things where like sometimes I watch videos without actually like I've got YouTube kind of like read or whatever, so I'll just listen to them. But he makes videos where like I'll watch them twice because I'll listen to him talk about it, but I want to watch it as well the second time around to see if I've missed anything. So definitely like something very unique to him. ARTV and Eric the Ungod. Something's going to tell me that Eric the Ungod's got this one pretty easy. Yeah, we don't need to say anything else about John. If you know, you know. And it's Tabby and Josh. Giving it to Josh because I don't really like reactionary like reviewers that much. I feel like this stuff's just quite shallow, and the only thing that Tabby's really put out that I kind of got a lot out of, the two videos anyway, were like the whole Brockhampton video we did about when Amir left. I thought that was very like mature, and it was emotional but still very grounded, so I liked that one. And I liked the Mac Miller video. More stuff like that, and I'll definitely have been like in a tougher place right now. But Josh, dance moves are on point, and just very insightful person, especially for his age. But I don't want to take that into account just now because like he just knows his stuff and just is very well worded. So gonna give it to him. And then between Ken and Sean C, I don't really like Sean C. I think he's quite obnoxious. I think he's quite immature to a detriment. Maybe he's a nice enough guy, but just from interactions I've saw on Twitter, his videos, I don't like his stuff. So I'm just gonna give it to Ken. But from the 2 videos of Dead End Hip Hop that I've watched, Ken's been like my second favourite behind Mike. He's got a nice beard, so that's enough to get through in this game. Then we've got, so we'll start from the top again. So Needle Drop against Rick, and I'm gonna give it to Rick because as good as Fantano is, I feel like Rick is basically stealing this crown at this point. Is covering a lot of stuff that I wasn't aware of beforehand. Does it like fairly succinctly. Just had a great sense of humour. Like all the traits that I would give to Fantano, I could give to Rick and then some. So Rick, I really wish that like if we could wake up one day and Rick had the same amount of subscribers as Fantano, that'd be a good timeline right there. Then between Amy and Velocity's music, I'm giving it to Amy here because her content has just been so impressive. Even just the stuff that she's put up where I'll say her final video where she was like kind of parting ways in that. Like she's just so casual, but it's not like casual to a point where it's just like somebody just going like, yeah, and like she's been so laid back, but she still just chooses her words very wisely, which I wish I could do, but I can't. I've just kind of made peace with that. Just, yeah, not to repeat anything I've already said before, but just, I feel like she can talk about mostly anything, and like even just look at that fucking teriyaki sauce review, like just, she could make a video about anything and I'd probably watch it and have a good time. So yeah, Amy wins that one, and then Buffalo and Eric, I give it to Buffalo there because I don't really watch a lot of Eric's stuff, though his stuff seems like, to just call him a music guy seems a bit limiting, because he does like, he interviewed like a porn star and stuff like that, and it wasn't just a case of like, haha, I interviewed a porn star. Like he was actually like fairly interested in it, and was asking these really, really insightful questions. So that wasn't too much of an easy one. But Buffalo, like I say, just somebody that like I can watch a video of his from like a year or two ago and still get like a good time out of. So I'm gonna give it to him for that. And then Instrumental Isomer, Josh and Ken. Gave it to Josh there, again, because I don't really watch much of Ken's stuff. I don't know if he does solo content or that, but from Dead End Hip Hop wise, I don't watch much of their stuff, so that's just how it is. Between Rick and Amy, gave it to Rick, but I'm looking forward to Amy coming back and making some new content, because I feel like the only way to go is up with her at this point, because she's just got all this potential. And that being said, when you say that, it sounds like a bit backhanded, but like she's already shown like how she can make good of it. So I think, especially now that if she kind of like can dedicate time to it, we're in for a treat. But Rick's got that one there for me. And then between Buffalo and Josh, give it to Buff. Josh is still relatively new, I would say, in terms of like video stuff. Like he wasn't around at this point anyway, this time last year, so that's the only measurement I've got there. But he's gonna, like, if he keeps up with it, gonna get more confident. Like this time last year, I was shit. Like I deserved to go out in the first round, but like I feel like I've got better. So, and not to say that Josh's stuff right now is bad, because it's not, because he, even though he's very much like myself, very anxious and that, like he still manages to keep composed and stuff like that. So yeah, wasn't an easy choice there, but Buff's won that. And between Buff and Rick, like I've already made my slides at this point, so I'm not trying to like fake like this big, oh, am I gonna go for? But like, I'm like last minute, am I gonna change? I'm gonna go for, I'm still gonna go with Buff. And I think that's mainly because my only thinking is that that Rick mainly sticks to reviews, and that's not a bad thing. But like some of the videos that Buff's put out, like that Linkin Park video, genuinely made me quite teary-eyed. So like that was like, I'm putting all the pros here, and it's just like that's like the tiniest one just to give him the edge there. But on that same merit, like some of Rick's reviews, like the Weezer one he put out, like not even like a few weeks ago, fucking hilarious. So it's like that I might end up being like tomorrow. I might just be like, oh, Rick should have gone through there, but just know that these are both great, and you guys probably already know about both these channels anyway. But like, if you don't, you're missing out. But between Deep Cuts and Buff here, and I've went back and forth for a good 20 minutes, and I'm gonna go with Deep Cuts for the second year running, which probably makes me seem like a bit of a shill. But I don't think that, because I think even between last year and now, and not even that like his stuff beforehand was bad, I think Ollie was just pushing himself more. He opened up the Patreon, so he was able to dedicate more time. He had the gas documentary. I really can see Ollie like becoming more than just what our platform sort of offers. Like I can see him like writing a book. I can see him running like a TV series or that. Like I feel like he's got the makings of being like something that will make people take our like people already kind of take the platform a bit seriously because of people like Anthony. But I do think that Ollie is just providing something that like makes him like really stand out. And I think Buffalo's going to get to that place as well. I think that just as time goes on, like he's already making like a name for himself with like his music. Like I'm excited for him. He's keeping himself like quite, what's the word? He's got like all these different sources of revenue, like in a sort of creative sense. So I don't feel bad about giving it to Deep Cuts here, because having the runner-up position alone is still pretty good, but also Buff's doing a lot of good stuff for himself, so it's not like he's leaving without anything. But yeah, everyone, mostly everyone on this list, go check out their stuff. Congrats to Ollie. Come back soon, please. And just, yeah, thank you to everyone that's going to put me out in the first round. If you do, please make some sort of joke about it. Don't let my death be in vain. And yeah, I'll catch you guys soon when I eat 3 kilograms of granola on live stream. Stay safe. Stay hydrated.